Hi folks, welcome to the Man Cave, and apparently there is a new young buck out on the block to replace my trusty R1250GS. So without further ado, let's go and see what all the fuss is about. Hey guys? So here we are then at the Mansell collection. Let's go and have a look at the brand new R1300GS. And guys, you've got to stay in the van. Okay, stay there. Let's go and have a look at the new bike. So here's the new R1300GS. Let's have a quick look around it, shall we? Looks pretty good. Well, I think she looks quite nice actually. Is it nice enough for me to get rid of my 1250GS? I don't know. We'll have to take it out for a bit of a spin, I think, but not today because it's going to rain, and it's already been out in the rain already. So it has been cleaned. So in the video you might see a little bit of dirt on it, but one of the technicians has already taken it out just to give it a road test because it is brand new out of the box today. So what do I think? Yeah, it's a nice looking bit of kit actually. So I think what we'll do, let's put some video together and have a look around the bike, and I'll put some audio over the top. So let's crack on. So here it is, BMW's new R1300GS. It shares nothing with the previous bike. The fresh modern look is growing on me, to be honest, and as one technician said, it looks like it was made by the Japanese. It's a brand new GS from the ground up. It's got more power and less weight. Oh, and yes, it's got the new Matrix headlight. That seems to have divided opinions. There used to be a time when the GSs didn't come with much as standard, not anymore. These are the main standard items of equipment that all GSs now come with. If you want to go for the TE spec bike for an extra £2,475, you get more stuff. The GS now comes in 4 flavours. You get the base model of your preferred flavour, or you can spend more cash and go for the TE version, which gets you more stuff. So you have choices, all depending on how big your wallet is. The 1300cc box engine is the most powerful box engine produced, making 145 horsepower and a whopping 149 Newton meters of torque. It's lost nearly 12 kilos of weight and has a lithium-ion battery now located under the seat. Electronics wise, as standard, you have cruise control, 4 riding modes, ABS Pro, dynamic traction control, and that wonderful 6.5-inch TFT. The look is fresh and modern and no doubt will appeal to a wider audience, but I'm not a fan of the wheels. It's got to be spokes for me. Can't help but think it now looks more like the XR. The engine and rear subframe are finished in this kind of non-stick frying pan surface, and that will be interesting to see how it holds up. Fried eggs, anyone? The engine is shorter as they have moved the gearbox from behind the engine where it was previously to underneath it, keeping the weight lower down. From a cleaning point of view, there will be less areas for the water collecting, particularly around the cylinder heads. It now looks as the cylinders are in line compared to the staggered cylinders on the previous model. Delivering the power to the rear wheel is a new shaft drive system, again with that frying pan finish. The exhaust is now so much smaller than the previous one, and there is a rather nice Akrapovic exhaust as an option. The frame is all new, not a tube in sight, and is made of steel, which has a smooth black paint finish. The subframe is made of die-cast aluminium and has that textured frying pan finish, as I call it. If you opt for the electronic suspension package, this has now evolved into a system that can also adjust the spring rate, and to be honest, that doesn't really mean much to me. Everything is upgraded, so on the front we have the Evo telelever suspension unit, and at the rear, again all upgraded, we have the Evo paralever suspension unit. The bike has a 19-inch front wheel and a 17-inch rear wheel, and is wearing Metzeler's Tourance Next 2 tyres, which are a really good tyre. This bike has the optional upgraded sports brakes with BMW rather nicely written in red on the caliper. They are actually Brembo brakes with larger front discs than the previous model, and the rear brake unit is also a Brembo unit 2. Getting onto the bike then, the bike feels noticeably smaller and more compact than my 1250GS. The standard seat height is 850mm. However, you can get different seats and foot peg combinations to get your ideal seating position. And it does also feel a lot easier to move around. The centre stand now comes with this small retractable piece that you flick out, and then this allows you to then push down on this piece and then put the bike up onto the centre stand. Certainly much easier to do this than my GS. The new tank is flatter in appearance, contains 1 litre less, so it's a 19 litre tank. Theoretical range about 247 miles, and it's got this squidgy kind of tank protector material, so that'll be interesting to see how that fares over time. Oh yes, the radio key can now sit in this fancy storage compartment just like its big brother GSA. There is a USB power supply for charging your phone. It's 5 volts, 3 amps. Pressing the button on the radio key tells you the state of the battery. Green is good, red is nearly dead. The bike's power push button, which on the previous 1250GS was on the top of the forks, this is now gone, and once the key has spoken to the ring area located here in front of the forks, you simply press the button on the right handlebar cluster to power the bike on. You now have the choice of 2 screens, this one and then the sports screen, which gives you extra stuff like lean angle. The switchgear is typical BMW, no change there, a few more buttons, and I don't believe it's backlit. You can get this electronic windscreen as an optional extra, and it will cost you about £280. Very simple to use, just use the rocker button here on the left hand side. It looks pretty impressive, and I'll be interested to see how effective this new screen is. You also get some wobbly bits of plastic here, and another power socket on the right hand side. You get these integral indicators in the handguards, but you can get normal ones if you want to go off-road. The bike has the very posh radar cruise control with blind spot detection. I'm not sure if I would have that as an option myself. If you do attempt to pull out and the system detects a vehicle behind you, it tells you that there is a vehicle behind you by flashing in the mirror. It is very clever. As always with BMW, you can allow them to remove as much of your hard-earned cash from your wallet by going to the configuration page and ticking all the options. Good luck. And finally, yes, you thought I'd forgotten that Matrix LED headlight. In reality, it looks okay, just different. I don't know whether I love it or loathe it actually, but I guess time will tell. It's a really well put together bike, which no doubt will appeal to a wider market. Do I prefer the modern new look to mine? Do you know what? I'm not sure. I'm not keen on the multi-function indicators, and I do wonder how long the gel type frame protectors will last with power washing and cleaning, etc. It certainly feels lighter and tighter, and I do look forward to riding it soon. Hopefully it will blow me away. Well, that's it folks, that's my initial look at the R1300GS. I'm sure, like myself, there's going to be lots of people out there thinking, do I change my R1250GS up for this? I don't know, I haven't ridden it yet, so that's going to be the next thing. I'll take this bike out for a ride sometime next week when I'm back on the island and I've got some time to do it, and when the roads are a little bit drier. But if you've got any comments to make them in the comment section down below. Big thank you to Greg, the owner of the Mansell Collection, for allowing me to come down and have a look at the bike. So thanks very much, Greg. And as ever, ride safe, and we'll see you again soon in the next video. Cheerio for now.